India signed and ratified the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. We need to move forward on this agenda to provide persons with disabilities with an environment conducive for their full development and ensure their equal participation on the development of our nation. India is also engaged in global efforts to seek equal opportunities for the disabled. Recently, in September 2013, the United Nations General Assembly convened a high-level meeting of the nations to highlight the close linkage between development and disability. Since it was felt that the development of a nation is not possible if the needs and capacities of persons with disabilities are not recognized, all nations resolved to seriously consider disability concerns in all the developmental activities. This is a remarkable step taken internationally for improving the quality of lives of persons with disabilities. India has fully endorsed this idea. The persons with disabilities, equal opportunities, protection of rights and full Participation Act of 1995 contains certain important rights and entitlements for persons of disabilities. The government is at an advanced stage, as the minister in charge pointed out, of bringing in a new and comprehensive law in consonance with the provisions of the United Nations Convention. I understand that this is a holistic piece of legislation which would entail major responsibilities not merely on the union government but also on state governments, local bodies, and even private service providers. I am happy to note that the central government, after setting up new Department of Disability Affairs last year, has taken a number of initiatives to sensitize various stakeholders to the needs of persons with disabilities. Greater convergence in the activities of the various union and state ministries and departments, such as those of social justice and empowerment, women and child development, human resource development, health and family welfare, labor and employment, is required for achieving better results. Ladies and gentlemen, a multifaceted approach and a multiple collaborative effort can help persons with disabilities to realize their full individual potential and make them active participants in the development process. The mainstreaming of the concerns of the differently abled is necessary to ensure their participation and involvement in the many spheres and activities of the society. Besides a strong policy framework, we must have an effective and efficient delivery mechanism in place to ensure the desired benefits can reach persons with disabilities. The center and state governments must effectively partner with the private sector and civil society in their endeavor to create an inclusive society. Specific schemes, programs, and facilities must be formulated particularly for the empowerment of children, women, and senior citizens with disabilities as they need special consideration. This is necessary in order to bring them into the mainstream of society and improve the quality of their lives. Education can equip the differently able to be strong enough to face the world. Children with disabilities should get adequate opportunities to pursue their education, which can enable them to get gainful employment in future for leading a life of dignity and respect. It should be ensured that children with special needs get access to education at par with others. We have to provide the right kind of teaching learning environment, material in accessible format, and barrier-free educational institutions. It is imperative to have websites in accessible format for reaching information to the differently able, ensuring the provision of accessible information and disabled-friendly technology will enhance the opportunities for progress of persons with disabilities. Special training of teachers in adequate numbers is essential so that they can understand the needs of the children with disabilities and thereby teach and guide them effectively. Various appropriate and affordable assistive devices are needed to enable persons with disabilities to substantially improve the functional capacity and lead an independent life. Efforts should be made to provide innovative, user-friendly aids, assistive devices, as also computer software and accessories to all persons with disabilities at a reasonable and affordable cost, so that they have equal opportunities for enhancement and actualization of their inherent potential. Ladies and gentlemen, economic empowerment of persons with disabilities is the key to their well-being and can enable them to lead a life of dignity. We have provisions for reservation in employment in establishments in the government sector for persons with disabilities. However, concerted efforts are required to fill in the backlog of the reserved vacancies. The government as well as public and private sectors should work hand in hand to improve the skill levels of the persons with disabilities with a view to enhance their employability. Private sector is also a large employer and can play a commendable role in providing opportunities to differently abled persons to prove their capabilities. The private sector should come forward to meet their social responsibility obligations and take proactive steps to provide placements of persons with disabilities in their establishments and industries. Disability, in a large number of cases, is preventable. Greater awareness and a proactive approach are required. In this regard, preventive measures like early detection and timely intervention can reduce the incidence of disabilities, particularly in children in the age group of 0 to 6. Measures such as immunization at the right stage, disease prevention, improvement of hygiene, better nutrition, better access to health care, maternal and neonatal care need to be taken in right earnest. ASHA, Anganwadi workers, and other field level workers should be specially sensitized and trained to identify children with disabilities to facilitate an early intervention. I congratulate all the award winners, convey my best wishes for their future. I hope they will inspire many others to come forward to work with dedication and commitment
कोई नहीं तो
to
मोन्टाज
make
रोल
our
करेंगे ना
society more disabled friendly and inclusive. Let us all, on this occasion, pledge to work towards empowerment and inclusion of all in our society. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Jai Hind.